Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, but you can call me Triggles. And today we're going to be playing some more space exploration. Um, I am up near the core.
Right, but first you'll have to unlock your device.
What the hell? It appears my phone has got its. Why is that switched on? What? I don't use the voice, command stuff on my phone, but maybe I've accidentally pressed something. I found all that sort of stuff a bit weird, all Siri and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, yes, I've been playing space exploration during the week. But what I've mainly been doing, I've done stuff like expanded up the solar here, for example. But what I've mainly been doing is putting in some defences because we were starting to get quite a few attacks. The biters are quite evolved, reasonably so. Can I find a base that I can hover over? No. I'm never going to do it on this view here. Go down here. Yeah, so we're at 0.85 evolution, so we're not far off getting behemoths. So what I've done is I've set up some walls, essentially, with some very thrown together improvised, defences, because we don't have logistics chests, which most of my defence blueprints rely on. So there's basically this cobbled together. It's based on the actual, proper rail blueprint, so it's a bit of a overblown, but basically it drops off artillery and uranium ammo and does it via the old school belt fed gun turrets with like 2 layers of lasers, and we've got the steel wall and stuff, so it's pretty well defended. And occasionally I'm just going around, because it's just a single turret, artillery turret each one, just occasionally going around and using the old remote to sort of push back any incursions, because I say evolution is such that they are spawning quite a lot of nests. As part of that, I also cleared out the bottom area here, so we have more land, basically, because we're going to need more land to build more stuff. And that's the real intention of today. Oh, hello, Baker Magician. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I hope you're okay. Right, the Clips watching party, so I can't say hey, but wanted to say hi. My friends and I were hoping this Friday Facts would have some new content, and dying for new enemy content in particular. I'm not sure we'll get new enemy content. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get one maybe. But I think they're wanting to leave that maybe as a surprise, because that's a sort of an easy one to leave as a surprise, because, it's not going to be on the tech tree what biters are, and hopefully Factorio PDO only fills itself out as you do stuff. So I think it might be quite a good one to leave as a surprise, biters. But yeah, I suspect we'll get one. But yes, it's the Clips Day, isn't it? We don't get any of that, I don't think, in the UK. I did check before, but it's going across the US, isn't it? And pretty good views from what I can tell. But I don't think we get any of it in Europe. We did actually have an eclipse that I went to see down in Devon, because we used to have a house down in Devon, and which is like southwest of England, and involved getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and sort of driving basically to the edge of Devon, edge of Cornwall rather, and it was quite amazing actually. I was quite surprised at how affecting it was, in a sense, because it was just so weird. And there are things like, the birds will start cheep when it goes, dark, or the birds all start cheeping because they think it's dusk, and so they do all their, they roost basically, and it's quite spectacular. And where we were, you could actually see across, because it was right on the edge of the coast that you actually got the full eclipse, and you could see across to another bay basically, one other headland as it were, and I remember looking across, while it was dark, and people were taking photos, and of course there were all the flashes going off, and it was just like, the hill was just exploding with all the, it's like stars basically, twinkling stars. But yeah, it did the whole what do you call it, the bead thing, where it's just like you get a single little pocket at the edge. Yeah, it's really it's really cool actually. I don't know when the next one is in the UK or Europe. So something... Oh, that's in orbit. Okay. Still haven't got used to the controls. Right, yes. So we are at the core processing area, which is running more consistently now because I've set up some processing. And basically what we're doing is kind of just getting rid of stuff for the moment, and it's what I want to do first. Is set up a... Because this is processing the oil, excess oil. I've added a load of extra storage, which won't be helping with performance, but yeah, that's like when it exceeds that, it'll make rocket fuel, basically. And what I need to decide is, am I going to just convert it all into rocket fuel? Because I haven't really got anywhere that's like... Because again, I haven't got logistics, so it's difficult to do, but I want to basically bring it back, I think, as rocket fuel, like solid rocket fuel, over to this area and use the excess uranium that's finally starting to build up. See, we got actual belts full of stuff, and the train is finally filling up. Because I've kind of turned this off. I'm only going to turn this off when we get a coronal... turn it on when we get a coronal mass ejection, basically. But yes, bring it over here and make nuclear fuel. I can't make nuclear fuel yet because I haven't got the research. Research in space. Or can I? No, it's in there, isn't it? Yeah, you get it with Covarex, that's right. Research has stopped up in space because we don't have any science packs up there. And of course it's not developed. But also the thing we set up last time over here is now kind of... All of these are filled up, basically, and the rocket's ready to go. It just needs the space science, which is what I want to also try and do either today or this weekend. Yes, that's preamble. But yes, hello, Baker Magician. Hope you're doing well. I hope the Eclipse is enjoyable and fun to watch. So it was great fun before. I sort of... They do seem to have... People seem to have worked out a pattern that they're doing, and it seems to be every... I think it was 8 weeks or something for like a planet reveal, or 7 weeks or something like that. And then sort of a major feature kind of almost like halfway through it, I think, something like that. But that sort of means we won't get anything on Bacchus until sort of 4 weeks. So we might get something really big next week. Although, as you say, I think it should have been this week if that schedule was followed, but I'm sure they're not being that prescriptive. But yes, this extra stuff here, at the moment I'm turning it into just, landfill, basically, which is a point, actually. I need to change these. Because I'm just setting up that... Because landfill is really expensive, which is obviously deliberate. That's obviously part of the design. But it's really expensive. And at some point, I want to landfill these lakes. And we'll probably need to do landfilling. It's like when I built this over here goes onto the... This is a rail track that goes up to the wall over here. And when I built it, I actually struggled to build this tiny bit of landfill. And it's why it's not... I normally just, do a big chunk of landfill. But I just didn't have any. And I actually started converting... So this down here was part of the old rail system. And I set up a special thing just to turn it all into landfill. And then I also added this over here in the middle of the solar panels, just so that we fill up. So we now got, chests and chests of landfill, because also I needed to landfill this to make this square this off a bit. And also I'll probably add an extra row there, but we've got... It's mainly for the coronal mass ejection, so we don't need this much power. So we're getting up to 2 gigawatts. I'd like it to be 2 gigawatts of solar. And then I've got to put more nuclear in as the backup. But it seems to be the CMEs we're getting are about 2.2 gigajoules, if I get my SI units properly described. So yeah, that plus the nuclear. And I've still got this stuff here. This is really productive, actually. It's a really cool... mechanic that this gives you lots and lots of power. But yes, so they've still got loads of tanks there, which say, because it gave so much, I didn't want to get rid of them. But yes, I need to set these up so we've got... I can eventually put a train in at some point, you know, to move landfill around. I need to put some more chests there. Forgot to do these earlier. Let's just put some lights in there. Did I set these as... Oh, okay. I guess I could do the same, actually. These don't need to be whatchamacallit ones. Just gives lots and lots of capacity. Obviously, hopefully, we should be burning through the actual iron ore to turn it into iron plate, but the base, again, is sort of in a dead state at the moment as I mess about with things, which from reading things on Reddit is kind of the expected pattern for SpaceX. You sort of do a lot of stuff and then you have to spend hours and hours and hours designing and building and setting up a new planet, and then you do a load of science and then you have to stop again. Okay, so yes, so this, as I say, is meant more as the excess overflow, and what we actually want to do is turn this into rocket fuel, which means smelting into iron plate, copper plate rather. How many things do I want to put in? I mean, in theory, you see, it probably won't tell me, will it? Because it's a percentage-based thing. So in theory, transport belt terms, it could produce 4.3 transport belts worth. In practice, it's not really going to do that. And certainly, you know, we'd expect a lot of it to go to the trains and the general smelting. So if we maybe set these up as like able to cope with half a belt, effectively, type smelting system, so, or half of that rather, so 2 belts worth of smelting, I guess. And maybe if I do it as... So how many actually would that be? Can I do it in a... Because I've got quite a lot of space this way. So maybe we have sort of 2 belts like that on either side, feeding each one. Then how big is... How much space would I need? Because I've been using speeds more than prods, because I sort of want to process it through rather than necessarily, you know, produce a lot of stuff. Oh, it needs a do-rid, doesn't it? Needs some of this. Oops, missed. Okay, so that will handle a third of a belt, and we want it to do 2, really. I don't really want to kind of impinge on that other one. I guess the nuclear, I'm not going to do any of that, am I? So what we could maybe do, if I could make... Would I be able to get this to about half a belt, maybe? Let's have a look-see. Wherever the speed module's gone, there we go. And then put that in there. Oops. Yeah, that's not far off, so about half a belt. So if we then say... Actually wants to go that way, probably. And then... So kind of the output going that way. And then copy that. Like so. Gonna need... Yeah, gonna need 2 of them. Right, so maybe if we put that there. There. One there. Oops. One there. And then... Oops. I'm doing that when I've got robots. Boop, boop, boop. So in theory, that should process getting on for a belt. Yeah, that's fine. And then we want the exact same thing the other way round, like so. It's only a bit different from my usual sort of design. Okay, how do we actually... Is it the... Oh, loads of copper ore. Cool. Oh, am I out of... I am. That's annoying. In fact, how many are we missing? We're missing quite a few. Yes, so, is it the fuel refinery? That's the question, basically. I think it is. I think that rings a bell. So, if there was a bacon in there... Although these have the wide effect bacons, don't they? So... Don't need to be as finicky with that, I don't think. But if we're making rocket fuel from water... Oh, we get scrap as well. Okay. Because I was going to put the scrap processing here. So that's okay. But scrap, you see, the scrap recipe, as I understand it, from memory... Yes, that's why I've got it searched here. Is... You do scrap recycling, then you get the raw stuff out, as well as heavy oil. That's interesting. But I can feed all of that in back in here, you see. So that can just join in at some point into this system. So did it have coal in it? I can't remember if it had coal in it or not. I don't think it did. Oops. No. So no coal. So it's iron, copper, stone and heavy oil. And of course heavy oil I'm already, we can feed that in to one of these. Is that right? Because this does produce heavy oil still, doesn't it? It's not just light. Yeah, there you go. So that's heavy to light. So I can feed that in there. And then the rest of it I can just add in as an extra feed in. Because it'd be quite low volume, I think. But yes, so what I need to work out really is like the ratios here. So if we're getting about a belt, out of modules as well. Okay. So, how much are you actually going to use? You're going to use... nothing. Huh? .12 per minute. Wow. Is it? It's really that slow, is it? Let's just put a bunch in then. So that would make it about the same size. It's really that slow, is it? 0.001 transport belts. You have got to be joking me. It's really that slow. Am I just going mad here? 500 seconds craft time. What? Okay. 500 seconds. Wow. .500 seconds craft time. So in other words, so if it's 500 seconds, I nearly did the thing again. 500 seconds is 8.3 minutes. Okay. 8.3 minutes. Well, this isn't a practical solution, is it? It would need, like, bonkers amount of speed modules on it, wouldn't it? Which is one of the, because we've got these super duper beacons, which I don't think I've unlocked, so I can't really even mess about with at all. In fact, have I got beacons at all? I don't think I have I? No. 8.3 minutes. I'd sort of assumed that was a viable thing. But for me at this stage, that probably isn't. Let's just set a little bit up then, just so we've got some here. But as a solution, that's not the answer to my problems, I don't think. 8.3 minutes, that's bonkers. Oh, hello, Senna. 500 seconds is 499.5 seconds too long, in my opinion. Yes. I would 100% agree with that. 500 seconds. I'd sort of assume that was almost like a cheat in a sense to let you make rocket fuel. And I suppose part of the point of that, really, is that when you're on some planet, and you've set your system up and it's chugging away and you're not really paying any attention to it, 500 seconds is sort of irrelevant. But wow. Wow. Hope you're doing well though. Good to see you again. Are you making sushi belt plans? Sushi pipe rather plans? It's little, because people sort of corrected me on the thing, because I said you could maybe, do that basically, and I'm sure they were just sort of joking, but actually you kind of couldn't, from what people are telling me. I'm trying to flip refineries, and we can't do that yet. So yeah, it's a bit weird that they sort of, almost suggested that. Anyway. Right, so in fact actually, if this is going to be so ridiculously slow, I probably want to split it off and take the copper somewhere else, don't I? In fact, let's get a balance from as well. Because there is no way this is going to eat through even the trickle of copper that we're making. Actually, let's copy paste those in. First, drop that off. Yes, so if I just sort of take this all the way up here somewhere, maybe. Just to have, I don't know how many would fit in there, but if we imagine that, say, I'm going to need some room for belts, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the next one will be sort of there. Maybe, so then got douche, so that'll be 5 rows. So if we take this sort of to up here, and then maybe think about adding the railway in. Of course, sushi pipes are the way to go. I think it's a nice feature though, without having a usage for it. Yeah, it does make you wonder sometimes. Obviously, there's so much. It's kind of the easy thing to talk about, isn't it? I suppose the quality of life improvements, because it's almost always going to have a positive reaction. It's the sort of thing that everybody likes, and they're features that they've decided they're implementing, so they might as well tell us about them. It's sort of no bad thing to put them in. Where would I actually do scrap processing then? Because I was thinking about doing it down here. Because I need somewhere to drop off the space-based stuff. Be that via cannon or what have you. But you see, I could do it in there. That wouldn't be a bad space for it either. Because we'll inevitably push this up. This isn't the final Situation with the walls. Let me think. Because the other thing then I'm going to have to do is have an actual... If this isn't really viable for me at this stage, this version here, then we're going to need a proper solid rocket fuel production area. You know, from oil. Because I haven't even got coal liquefaction either, so I can't boost it with that. So we need somewhere to turn it into liquid fuel as well. Yeah, I think I'll do the scrap here. And then because I've just got a, you know, temporary stick it in there type solution. So we could maybe put a rocket fuel production thing here. Sort of doesn't matter either way, but I'm just wondering where I take the belt of scrap and stick it in a bunch of chests, basically. I barely know what I'd like to see in the Friday Facts anymore. As you said, it's perhaps not much of a point to not spoil, as anyone can just check it as soon as possible at release day. Perhaps the suspense will be increased for release with less content info. I am torn. Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's sort of... I'm almost happy either way. I think, you know, if they decide to go with a not spoiling type approach... I mean, we're going to find out about each of the planets. I don't think that's, you know, something they'll just hide or what have you. But I haven't hooked up the water, have I? If there's so little water coming in, I can just hook it up to the one I've already... I sort of assumed it would be a bit like this pyro stuff, where I needed like 1 million pipes of water to keep it going. See, because it absolutely hammers the water. It's a really cool idea, that. I really like that bit. But this is so slow. It's not really going to matter, is it? So, where would be a good place to hive it off? Let's see, let's just extend the pipe, I guess. Just hook it in there, maybe? Oops. Yeah, that'll do. But yes, I don't know. Why are you not working? Oh, because you're filling it with water. Because it does take quite a lot of water. 1,000 water, but 500 seconds. So, you know. Right. Okay. In that case, I was going to take the scrap that way and the rocket fuel that way, wasn't I? So, I think what we can do is a very simple hop over. Right. That down there. And then if I just do a... Should I do it like that? Yeah, we'll just do a filter splitter. Pop her on there. Send the scrap that way. Although in reality, for the time being, just stick it in a chest. Over here somewhere maybe. I probably won't hook up, I'll just leave this here because, as I say, intention is to start actually using the copper as copper ore. You know. Right. Quite a lot of stuff definitely ruins my current Factorio experience, unfortunately. Yeah, that is the downside of it. The sort of, at the very least, I think I've said before, some of it I've got into my head that it's already in the game. So I end up sort of pressing the shortcut key or what have you to try and do it, and it's not actually there yet. Like I tried to turn the, well, it's not a refinery, the fuel refinery thing around, but that's not actually a feature yet, so it didn't do anything. They've been quite canny with it because it's quite obvious, really, that it's Factorio 2, as in, you know, I know they're calling it version 2, so you know it's not inaccurate, but it's a sequel, I think, or you know, it's a. In the same way that you know, Civilization 2 is a remake or whatever you want to call it of Civilization, and you know, it's the same game. It's just, you know, they add more in it, take stuff away, refine it, update the graphics, etc. And it's basically that. I think it's not really the same game. It's a new game, but not that I'm complaining about that. Okay, so at some point, in fact, let's put a tag on to tell me that scrap processing. Yeah. Oh, we've got a caps lock on. Scrap processing. Yeah. So like this, we're getting a huge quality of life boost for these, in that you'll be able to move them. Which, you know, why that was never in the base game already, I don't know. I saw you had some laser turrets at your wall earlier, but do you use machine guns or flamethrowers at all? After I realised machine guns do quite some damage, I got interested in setting them up as events, space age, but the logistics is annoying compared to laser turrets. So yes, there are. So this train here is the restocking. It has a insane belt on it at the moment because at some point I need to bite the bullet and tear this down and rebuild, which is why all these train stops are being added in, basically, because this will be the drop off of the intermediate materials, basically. But yes, so that train restocks with uranium ammo, which, as I was saying at the start, we're getting to a stage where it's actually properly backed up and ready to go. I don't have Coverix yet, but that'll obviously help out as well. But yes, so this train fills up with artillery and uranium ammo, which is just as effective, it seems, in this game. And then it drops off at these little stations here, which are a bit botched together, and then just feeds it via belt. At some point, this will need properly updating with. I have a lot of blueprints that are for defensive systems, so there's all sorts of. These are the improv extra ones, but there's a whole proper system here for delivering what we need, or I need, for doing proper defences that are permanently there. And it also has an expansion system, so that's the full setup. It's a double train system, artillery and the actual thing, but it has a whole set of extensions that allow me to just expand walls, basically, and just to infinitely expand the base without ever actually being here. It's all sort of tested and works, but it's entirely reliant on having logistics chests, which I don't have yet. But yes, so it's dropping off ammo, just sticking it in by a belt, and then I've got one of those at each of these stops here. There's just a little simple signal that basically just says if either of those go below 1,000 or below 5, then send me a train. It just turns off the station, essentially. Right, so we will put, in fact, let's build some more of them. Okay, so because I've not done the thing, I've used blowing fast inserters, but it's all a bit of a waste of time, really, isn't it? Let's see. But yeah, defences is one of the things I've sort of spent a lot of time designing and building. It's something I quite enjoy in the game. I've done all sorts of cool, well, what I would say cool looking defences, practical defences and all sorts of stuff, really. So it's something I'm well versed in. Okay, so if we hook this in, I mean, it's not made a single one yet. Insane. So where do we want to add this in? If we just sort of attach this on here, I think. Or maybe put it in as a... that. Cool. In which case, I guess I'm going to have to set up a proper rocket production thing now, aren't I? Because in order to do the space science, I'm going to need rocket fuel. And we might as well deliver that as rocket fuel, because we're going to need to stick it in cargo rockets as well. In which case, that is probably going to be a rocket fuel one. No. Okay. Right then. I wasn't expecting to have to do that, but there you go. How many have we actually got here? Could I just... oh, we got quite a lot. $370. Okay. I just thinking I could maybe do that like off stream, basically. And I could just load it in at the moment. Because 370 is plenty, I think, for getting satellites up on the go. But yes, these ones here, I think, have... is there oil in this system? I don't think there is, actually, thinking about it. No. Is that right? No, so this one doesn't have flamethrower turrets in it, just because of the logistics of delivering, you know, oil or what have you, being too much. Plus, to be totally honest, lasers are a bit OP because producing power is easy, particularly when you've got nuclear available. So it's not actually, how to put it, practical in a sense to... I wonder actually, if could I use this? How much in theory would that produce? Because it's already set up to do rocket fuel, and this is just an overload. And I could put a, you know, a tank in there that basically says, right, well, if these are full, prioritise emptying it out there. You know, so we could have a tank here that is a, you know, got a, if this is full, suck from there. If it's not full, suck from there. So in theory, it would produce... oh, that's quite a lot, isn't it? 0.124. I could always double everything up, and that's then a quarter of a belt. I don't really know how much I need, because I didn't do the maths on the actual space science. Let's do that. So I can just add it in. So then I can literally just have two trains, one picking up rocket fuel. Yeah, let's do that then instead. Give me a use for oil as well. I don't know why I didn't get in the tank. I'm an idiot is the answer, but yes, flamer turrets are really effective, but the logistics is a pain in the bum, in my experience. And then lasers, as I say, are a bit OP. I mean, uranium ammo is a bit OP when you've got... any clues on what the tank is? There is. When you've got the buffs on it, But of course it does have a little bit of a logistics challenge. But yeah, lasers you can just slap down. So long as you can generate electricity, which is never a problem, you're golden. Okay, so I think I'm going to need some more... What have we got? Some more of them. Chemical plants we don't really need. So where do I want to have this oil coming off? I think I'm going to do a sort of a mad rooting around type train. So we'll come off here. Shall we both? Yeah, let's do a thing. Let's not use the bolts just yet. And then... Just so it's not interacting with all these messy junctions, basically. In fact, you might as well finish building that. Thanks. Right, and then... We go... where's the straight track? Straight track, there we go. Go in there by that much, maybe. Just to give us a bit of separation. And perhaps... And maybe one more. Like so. And then up. And then use that as our kind of indicator where we are. So if we drop... Is that going to work? Yeah, get another one. It's probably a bit far, is it? Yeah. So I think it's something like this, basically, doing similar sort of idea here. So I'll just copy this. So why are you... Oh, you've got signals in the way. That's why. So something mad like that. So we'll kind of get rid of the internal gubbins and I'll rework that. Take you out. Well, that will be... I didn't need to do that then, did I? So that's going to be rocket fuel. We can pop these two in and rename them so it doesn't do anything mad. Sending trains here. So if that's that load, let's just put it on one for now. And then this is going to be another oil unload, which is written out somewhere. Oil unload. Train limit is set to 0 for some reason. Okay. Do you usually play with passive biters? No, generally, I mean, I've been playing the overhaul mods that I've been playing through, so like Angels, Bobs, that sort of thing. I've been playing those with passive, just so that biters are there, I can do some combat, but so that I don't have to kind of worry about it in a sense. But no, I generally do play with biters on aggressive. Usually the normal concession I make, particularly when streaming, is to do the large starting area. Just so that when I'm waffling away, you know, it's not going to cause me any problems. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for, I guess, just unload a fluid, basically. Like that. But we do also need some refueling, I guess. Let's sort that bit out later. But yes, this would be oil then, wouldn't it? So we go up here. So we miss our stacker, that's good. It's quite a distance. is not great. Probably need a pump on it then. So if those are coming in sort of from that direction, how am I going to do this? So if we have like a tank here, and this tank, got a pump there, and we can then say have a. So that needs to move back, doesn't it? I guess. So this hooks up here, basically, and this one hooks up here. And then we'll basically use this. If this ever gets any fluid in it, then we'll turn off the pump here. Yeah, so this pump needs a couple of things going on. How am I going to do that, though? Because I'll need... several instructions for it is sort of the problem. So that pump's always on, basically, and it's pushing the thing in there. But what we're using here is a signal from this. I guess I could... So this pump only turns on if the amount of oil in that one goes below, or goes, if it goes above 1,000, say? So in other words, oil has overflowed to such a degree that we've now put some oil in there. So you only activate... No, I don't know. Other way around, isn't it? So you no. Yeah, so if there's less than 1,000 in there, then basically it means that's pretty much empty. So this will then turn on. This pump is always there to push stuff through, so it's literally only... Yeah, what we'd expect to happen is that this gets a full, and so when this starts to back up because this pump can't pump in, then it'll turn this one off, and so the only pumping will come through that system. And this acts as a buffer as well, so that if we have got so much fluid... Yeah, I think that works. I think. We will have to see. But yes, I normally play with biters on, because I do enjoy the combat. I know a lot of players don't, or kind of aren't interested in it, and that's cool. It's not something that I think is necessarily vital to the game. I also quite like the pressure mechanic, although I've never actually done a death world. Well, I started one, and I didn't fail at it because I didn't really engage with it properly, I guess. I just sort of started it and kind of just didn't play it anymore. I don't really, I didn't. It's not that I sort of got overwhelmed by the biters or anything. I just sort of didn't continue it, and I don't really know why. Is that logic going to work? So that tank fills up with, say, 5,000 oil because there's so much come over, and this one can't pump out because this is full from oil from the other one. So this shuts off. Yes, that should work. Okay. Cool. What I can also do, though, is double this up. See what we can build now. With what we've got. We're missing some connectors there. Okay. And then we can double this one up. Because I did all the maths properly on this. I was a good little boy. So it can basically handle exactly the right amount of material. Gonna have to tweak that splitter job though, aren't I? So that it is halfway. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it need to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it need to be in here. And then 1, 2, 3. Yep. So that puts it on evenly on both sides, assuming proper flow, which is probably not going to happen. And then we need to double this up. Like so. Maybe extend that belt all the way. Give that a connection effect. Yeah, that won't have a connection now. And then same with this issue here, that we want this somewhere more like there. Not actually sure that shouldn't be a red belt. It absolutely thumps it out. Yeah, I thought so. 2.13. So, I mean, that's obviously the theoretical maximum. But yeah, this is a lot. In fact, I've just decided I should be going the other way, shouldn't I? So, we can rework that. And in fact, that works out even better, because then we've got prioritization for the one above, which is awesome. We'll grab these. Do I have... I don't have enough room, I don't think, but what we can do instead is just chuck it that way. Some actual rocket fuel for some actual rockets. Crikey. So this is the wrong way around then, isn't it? It's also the wrong type of splitter. Like so. And like that. Just to half it. Sure. One of the things I am wishing or hoping for with the combat is some new weaponry, because I'm not 100% sure it will happen, but it'd be nice to have some more, more toys to play with, basically. But so I'm not kind of convinced that it, will get something like that, because as I say, it's a bit OP at the moment. It's a bit sort of, have I not got any? I haven't got any blooming trains. Bit, well, I don't think I'm making any of them, but let's put that on anyway. Yeah, it doesn't take that much to kill even a behemoth biter. They are probably the most challenging. Behemoth worms are probably worse, I would say. But of course they're just fixed positions, so they're not going to, cause you too much difficulty for your base, because they're not going to attack your base. I did find behemoth biters a bit frustrating, if I'm honest, in one of my playthroughs, my mega base one, because they don't... an entire train can hit them, and it doesn't kill them. It's like... you have to have one of these train saw jobs, the silly things that people do, in order to kind of damage them. Or, well, not to damage them, to kill them, basically. And of course that's just, silly. But a normal train, a 141, even a 282 or something like that, doesn't actually kill a behemoth. Instead it hits it and it stops, and then of course the biters attack the train and destroy your train, and it's just a bit sort of over the top. So some sort of solution to that where there is maybe train-based weapons or some nice way of protecting your trains would be really nice, but again, I'm not convinced they'll quite go that far. I think if they're putting tungsten in the game, then we should get some tungsten-based weapons. And obviously, having now played this a bit and become a bit familiar with it, there is a railgun in this, so I don't see why they wouldn't add one here as well, in Space Age as well. So, we need a fast one on that. Probably not got enough belt, have I? There. Oh, just enough. Okay. So, what have I done with my tank again? Over there, okay. Get the pots to fill this in. It's really annoying when you have to pause what you're doing half a map away, go back and repair and start the train. That's now stopping all the other trains, yeah. Right, I didn't put any signals on this properly, did I? So we want signal. There's a there, and then this should be a chain there. I think because I don't want them doing anything until this is well cleared out the way. And then same there, you're not going to go in. So I can put, if, you know, throughput's a huge problem. Are they both set to 1? Should both be set. I haven't put any. No, they're not. Oh, we're out of rail. Okay, we're out of everything. I think rail I've got in. Yeah, there we go. Grab a couple of them. Finish that side of it off. Maybe see if a train's ready to come. There is a slight irony to what I've just done, in that the overflow, of course, is loading into a train, is loading oil into a train, and they tend to go to the nearest station, so they're literally going to go and take oil from there all the way over there. So the overflow is only going to kick in if there's some like super weird blockage going on. I do also need to craft the pumps. Okay. So yeah, we will ignore that weirdness. You're at unload. Yeah, so we do need another train on that. We obviously don't have any trains doing anything there. I didn't put a pump here, did I? What was I going to do? I need to go and get a load of stuff, basically. So we only actually need 5 of those, so we might as well drop that request. We don't need any fuel refineries, as we seem to have plenty. We've done that part. Don't need any of them. 5 of those chemical plants, I think that's all sorted, isn't it? Oh, I just set up a burner thing here. What I obviously really want to do is use coal liquefaction, really. But I don't have that recipe either. So, yeah, we're okay with them. We'll chop that down, but I think I need them for space science, don't I? But, right. So, we've got somewhere making rocket fuel. Excuse me, fuel. I guess we could do... Oh, rocket control units are in this as well, aren't they? I forgot all about them. I mean, I need those for the other thing, don't I? Again, let's do one job at a time. Did you wonder what I... We will pump up these requests here. If I make that 200. Now we know we need probably more regular inserters. That's what I'm missing. Let's put that on, say, 200. And maybe that on 100. Okay, off we pop. Cool. First streaming series I did was an attempt at a mega base. I mean, I made a mega base. It wasn't just an attempt, but I didn't quite hit the goal I was hoping for because it was actually my first attempt at a mega base. But the approach I was using was outpost based one, rather than what I should have been doing is just expanding my base like I'm doing here, so that if there is an outpost, it's just literally outside and you incorporate it as soon as you can. Because it's just a bit more practical and you don't have this issue, like I say, of like behemoth biters, wandering across your track. Train hits them and then your whole system grinds to a halt and you are literally, as you just literally said, the entire other side of your base, and it takes you 10 minutes in a Spidertron with max legs to get there, and that just kept happening. But I also tried to set up, as part of the outposting, these like clearance stations. So basically a whole load of artillery would turn up, and it was as close to self-building as I could make it, with my experience at the time. And it was a bunch of Spidertrons. But basically I set it up. Now, the first test I did, it was all like, huge amounts of walls around it, gun turrets, laser turrets, a whole bunch of artillery, as I say. I think it was actually artillery trains turning up. And so it turns up, it fires out 1 million, rounds of artillery, wipes out nests all in the area. And of course, I was using sort of 8 Spidertrons to build the thing, and then I was positioning them around the edge as like extra things because they had rockets in them. But of course, they had explosive rockets in them. So the first wave of biters turned up, and my Spidertrons did a far better job of annihilating this clearance outpost than the actual biters, because they just lobbed off all these explosive rockets and just flattened huge chunks of the thing, the walls and stuff. And then of course the biters sort of swept in and cleared up the rest. Really, it was quite amusing. I think I've literally exactly filled up my inventory. Bit random. Okay, let's head back and finish this off, and then we can see maybe about either making low density structures. I don't think I've got a glass production thing, have I? Because this is the stone slates. Interesting. So I might think about doing that separate as well. But it was quite funny because, I sort of timed it so that it was the last thing I was doing on the stream. And then it was literally just, oh wait, I might have to rethink this. This isn't the spectacular finish that I thought it was going to be. Let's get a radar in here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, tank's not stopped. Somebody stopped my tank. I didn't. Oh, these are limited. Oh, it looks like a... Oh, you're at oil low. Okay. I thought you were at oil unload. Right, never mind then. So we've got a train that's been and gone. Okay. What are you trying to insert? Oh, there. Your inserters. Okay. Can't insert fast inserter. We'll get them in, and then there'll be room. I actually ran out of construction bots while I was doing the defences, because obviously the biters were sort of slowly nibbling away at the number of number of bots I had, and we're not making any more because lubricants run out. Let's put it there. Is that? No, that needs connected there and there. Would this be properly connected here? Don't know. They're all running, so it must be. Cool. And they're processing the stuff. Both running. You're both running. You're not running. Why is that? Oh, you're full. Okay. Then that's because these are full rather than... Okay, let's get it processed there. But maybe this does need to be a red belt. In fact, of course it does. Let's put a red belt in. Just make sure that's a red belt. Splitter. Do you think the RTS tool means they have some new unit you control with it? I think it's got to be, hasn't it? I mean, we got the well, we don't know what it was, but the weird floating, or the arm basically, when they showed that mega speed foundry. I don't see why... Well, that would seem very strange to me if that is a new suit. I don't really understand that. I mean, obviously, I don't understand a lot. Because we don't know what's going on. But that would seem very strange to me for that to be... and another power armor. It doesn't really make sense for it to be power armor. I think it's got to be a remotely controlled drone or something like that, because... Are you... Yeah, you're all running. Because it's just weird to, have a... to rename it as a right... why call it an RTS tool? That just doesn't make sense. It's a very bizarre thing. Oh, are we full? We're full. Okay. That's annoying. Let's get rid of that and that and that. Yeah, it's a very weird thing to call it. If it's just the Spidertron remote. And even if you're going to give it a generic name, then you would just call it remote control, wouldn't you? Instead of, why would you go from Spidertron remote to RTS tool? That doesn't make any sense. If you've got other mechanics like that, then you're just going to call it that sort of a name. Whereas if you're just changing how the Spidertron remote works, then it's still a Spidertron remote. So yeah, I think there is some kind of other system, basically, and it's your remote avatar, basically, or something you can use very easily as a remote avatar. I don't know if it might tie into the whole teleporting idea, that maybe we'll get teleportation. I just look at this. This is absolutely crammed. This is just not running at all, is it? And same here. So this is so productive that we can actually do with another lane, because this one's also not really getting all it needs. So I'm thinking maybe we put in a little extra little sort of booster line here, maybe. With some long-handeds on it? Or something? Or maybe I just blend it in. Blending it in is probably better, isn't it? But yes, I think there's something like that coming. Because one thing, you're saying about not telling us stuff and keeping things secret, and Friday facts about, Spidertron and stuff like that. Well, Spidertron was a weird thing where they'd sort of mentioned it as a possible thing, and then basically sort of went silent about it. The implication and hints being that maybe it had proven too technically infeasible, or was so low priority they weren't going to bother, or something like that. And then when it actually got put in the game, it was like a big surprise, basically. It was a big sort of, haha, Spidertron's in the game. So I suspect they're doing the same basic thing, essentially. That we're not going to find out about anything combat, and then suddenly there's going to be all these surprise, lovely new toys to play with, basically. So I need to put that on the other side of the belt, really, don't I, as well? That's all right. Okay. Let's put that one there, then. And then that. There. Yeah, okay. And then, will that work? So if I do that now. No, that doesn't work. I think I'm going to have to go old school with this. In fact, why don't I just move this? Oh. Move this down. Give myself a little bit more room to play with. Stop being silly. There we go. I agree, but I can't come up with any reasonable ideas for what the new unit could be. Neither can I come up with any idea that would explain the scoop arm they teased. Yeah, as I say, I think that's possibly just more cosmetic. It's not really like a proper scoop arm, as it were. You never know, of course, but I say it just feels like maybe that's a... But, it looks like a... Constructicon, basically, like some giant thing when it's got, a digger arm and a grabby arm, claw arm, and maybe it's got an extra, remote arm on it, so it's got 3 arms or something, or, maybe like a Predator style, gun, turret on it or something like that. I'd love it for it to be modular. That'd be the thing I would really want from it. That it's basically, you can build it how you want. So if you want it to have digger arms, then you can put digger arms on it. If you don't, then you don't, sort of thing. I'd love for it to take that sort of approach. Yeah, they're all running okay, aren't they? Now, cool. So that's why and if you want it to be it can go out and mine stuff, because that's what I think why it's an RTS tool, effectively. Again, I'm sure this is massively carried away territory, but that's why it's an RTS tool, because it lets you, like when you had the diggers in Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer. Where you sent out the mining, whatever it was called, drone, or the robot, basically, the gatherer, harvester, wasn't it? And it would mine up the Tiberian ore and all that sort of stuff. But of course, you would give it controls like it was just one of your units. You wouldn't have to do manual mining of the Tiberian. And I think that's why, because basically it will have functions that relate to whatever, I say, hopefully it's modular, but whatever functions it's got. Does this need another? So if that's waiting at oil light, why is it waiting? And why is it not filling up? Because that's good old-fashioned slow oil. I think I do need another one still. I don't actually have enough stuff. Yes, so I think it will have extra functionality, and I say I would love for it to be modular, but it might just have, almost like a generic set of... Oh, I didn't put any fuel on, did I? Generic set of, functions that it can do, and it's a single type of unit, and it's not that fancy or clever. But one of them is perhaps, as I say, digging, so you can send it out to dig resources. For whatever reason you might need to do that. Just like you can hand dig, basically, and that's why I'm thinking it's a remote player avatar, more than purely a combat thing. But of course you can give it guns, and you can, upgrade it to have its own, power armor stuff, and or equivalent to that. Which side do I want to bring it down? Because I got the... Let's just do it that way around. Yeah, so that's my sort of theory as to what it is. And the idea then... Because the thing that is almost the elephant in the room with, both this, I believe, and Space Age, is if you are off on some planet, doing all your fancy stuff with... your new resources and what have you, you may quite easily be in a situation where you can't easily get off the planet because you need to set up, or you need to have the capability, perhaps at Alvis, and you're not going to know, because they have to be more careful with the base game about making sure you don't get stuck and not putting you in unwinnable positions. You can still do it to a degree, and biters kind of represent an example of that, because... I put that on there, and I don't actually want to do it that way. Because, you could easily get into a situation of, you're in an unwinnable position with biters. That's sort of, an easy thing that could happen. Would I not be better bringing that in the middle? Or is it not going to fit? No, it's too far apart, isn't it? Let me do that. Okay. Actually, though, it's probably easier to do the oil on that side. But yeah, so that's an example of where you could have that mechanic and it not be too... you'd learn your lessons, as it were. You come back with a new game, and play properly with defences in there. But it could be quite frustrating if you're off on your third planet or something, and you're setting up, your new mining and what have you again. And your base is just busy being trashed by the biters, basically, because you can't do anything in order to get off the planet, because you're like the main agent of fixing things. If some new design is needed to fix some combat problem, then while you could possibly, if you sort of know what you're doing properly, do it all remotely with extending, bot networks and all this sort of stuff. I mean, coincidentally, we've just got an improvement to logistics networks. Well, why is logistics networks important? Because they've had that tab in there for ages. Oops, wrong button. This one. And it's completely useless. It always has been. I mean, this is me, but you can't even tell it's you. It's useless, basically. So why bother making it useful? Why not just remove it from the game? Well, because you need some way of better managing logistics from other planets. And of course, that's one solution for it. But another is that you've got a player avatar that can run around building... Say, like this all collapsed here. The biters swarmed in, overwhelmed it, my bullets run out and power got disconnected because some spitter lobs multiple spitters managed to kill off my power poles somehow or something like that. And the only way of really fixing it, because this network is completely independent and absolutely miles away from my main network, is I could slowly lay a trail of roboports up to this here, and eventually it would connect to my main thing. But if it's fundamentally a bad design, it's you being there is the only real practical way of like properly redesigning it, unless you've got some system for remotely operating. We don't appear to have any rocket fuel coming in. Why is that? Fluid ingredient shortage. Okay. Fluid ingredient shortage. We have no oil. Oh. It stops. That's 0. Oh, we're just waiting on a train, I guess. I was fooled by the symbol. Okay. And this is this thing. This is why sushi belts won't work. Because there is oil in this. But it's not pumping it out. Because it just won't properly balance it. Sushi pipes, basically, apparently. Anyway, what's the point? The point is that I need to build a train here. But yes, that's why I think it's like a remote avatar, drone thing. Because effectively, you need a way of moving over to that other planet without physically moving over there. Because you need to be able to basically go, right, I need to fix this problem. The only way of fixing the problem is to be there. Where's the other train? There it is. Oh, where's it gone? Is to be there, and I'm stuck on a planet, and it's going to take me 5 hours or something to build the the rocket production, basically. So the only way of fixing it is to be able to instantly go over there and effectively kind of move your consciousness so you become the player avatar on this other planet. Because otherwise, the only other way of fixing it is, as I say, for you to go back home. And especially if they've completely wiped out or completely knackered your base on Nalvis, well, how are you going to get a space platform to come to you with, parts or what have you, in order to build a rocket to get off the planet? Because, as I understand it, although there's like an instant transfer down, getting up requires a rocket. And as I say, you could do that by bringing, parts from Nalvis, stick them in a rocket, you go up, you go back home. So I may be wrong on that. Maybe a quick way for you to get back into orbit. But yes, so I say a remote solution seems to be the only real kind of answer to that. But my best guess is that the resource gathering is done by controlled units on one planet, which is what the remote is for, and also the arm is part of the gathering unit. Perhaps the resources are dynamically placed, basically, or just low yield, but covering most of the area. So yeah, I think we're on the same page there. Oh yeah, that's the question I was asking myself reading last Friday, thanks. Yeah. I do happen to know that they are also trying to make all of these like more useful and more used. There's a weird effect, and I think it's literally because it's so far in the corner, but a lot of these people don't even sort of know they exist. So the whole train management and the tips and tricks, people don't... how many times, I don't know if you use Reddit or... I don't tend to use Discord a lot, but people have come in and asked questions that are basically just answered by this tips and tricks and tutorial type system. Because people kind of don't know it's there. And I don't know if part of it is that mortarboard symbol is maybe a bit confusing for people, but, when was the last time you looked? You looked at your bonuses, sort of thing. So I believe they are trying to make these more useful and like more used, basically. But I mean, the logistics one isn't even one of those. You know, it's literally just a shortcut. In fact, is there a way of getting it from the map or something like that? I can't remember. But there isn't even a button for the logistics one. Is it in here, maybe? Can't see it. But you would, you literally have to know that, you can get at this in order to use it in some way. So, are we... Oh no, you're not going to go anywhere because you're not on automatic, are you? So we have... Wow, look at all that. Crikey. Super full. And in fact, there's about a train's worth sat there as well. There's no more coming in still, though. Oh, I guess the train's not been anywhere, has it? Now, are you actually going to come back? Where did you go, then? What? Where has that train gone? No one stops with this name. 3. Let's have a look on the train list then. What have I managed to do there? Got 4 trains. I know this has got 2. Seem to have lost a train. The back button is going to be so useful. Oh, what did I click on there? What? Heading to oil unload. Heading to oil. Because that's the same station. Why does that unload? So where did that other train go? Do we think it did a trip to the other oil load? How many oil loads have I got? I thought I only had 2. Oh, I've got 3. Oh, is it set up here? No, it's not set up here. Where the heck has that train gone then? What it could have done is it could have gone to that one, I guess. But this was sat here waiting for ages, wasn't it? And it's just... It can't have gone here and filled up and come back again, is what I'm saying. Where the heck has that one gone then? Unless it is one of these. How much oil have you got on then? Because that one's clearly been there for a while. I should have put smarts on these, shouldn't I? And in fact, I probably should only set this to 1 as well. I need to work out my whole train system. It's a bit rubbish. You're going to load up somewhere. Because how many loads? I've got 3 load stops. So we know there's one up at the core. There's that one there where it's got not enough production. So it must have gone to this one. And you see it blasts up because this has got loads of oil. Now where are you going? Oh, you're coming back here. Okay. So I guess maybe it went and filled up and then the closest unload was here, so it just headed here. Guess that what must have happened. Okay. I got the tips early because I saw a tip that was nice, and then I just looked through all of them. Most as I did not know Even though about for hundreds of hours, yeah. Yeah, there's a weird mix in there. The other thing I think that's a problem with it is it's called tips and tricks. It's not called tutorials. They are tutorials, a lot of them. But it should just be called tutorials or lessons or, how to play or something like that. Because tips and tricks is like something that, it's in the common parlance as being like time saving or bonus type things. It's not core mechanics. A tip isn't you can, hand mine rocks. That's not, or hand mine resources. That's not a tip. That's a fundamental mechanic and how you start the game. So yeah, as I say, I think maybe the name doesn't help with that because it's like. But yeah, I think a lot of people just default. I'll go and watch a YouTube video, or I'll ask on Reddit or Discord or something like that. It's why games now, they generally have to force you to use a tutorial. It's like a mandatory. Wow, that emptied instantly. It's like it's mandatory, forces you to, tells you the instructions and you have to use it the very first time you start the game. Which isn't a very Factorio way of doing things. You see, what I was expecting to do is what I think it's just done now, is to go up to this one and refuel here. This is what I was expecting it to do. So I don't know why it went all the way over here, if it did. And if it did fuel up here, why did it then go all the way down here? Because this is the closest. Anyway. Ours is not to reason why. Ours is to go and make low density structures or something. Right. Are we going to do that? Let's pop up to... Got far too many speed modules and stuff now, haven't I? Let's get rid of them. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Dangerous driver, you see. What was I doing? Trying to do two things at once and failing. We pop that down to 100 then. And probably don't need quite so many pipes. And what else could we chop off? I mean, we don't need any oil refineries now. Did I build them? Yes. Why not? Why not? Oh. Let's go and have a look at the maths on what I might want to do. Well, look, is there some actual scrap in there? Does that mean it actually cycled through? 4 pieces of scrap. Wow. Oh, I could stick speed modules in there, couldn't I? Let's see if that does make much difference. Oh yes, I can fill those out. Yeah. Okay, so just creeps up into noticeable numbers. So all 10 of those will produce 2 rocket fuel a minute. Wow. Nuts. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, I also built... I had a very, very close call with a train. Because I've only got the train bridge here, so I built a little strip across here. And this was the other one that kind of brought home to me that landfill is not as free and easy to acquire as it is in the base game. Right. We were doing maths, weren't we? Yes, we were. So... yeah. So, how much production of this have I actually set up? We've set this up, I think, yeah, as about 100 a minute with blue dubris. Okay. So, I need a rocket silo, don't I? Which I must have back at the main base. Rocket silo there. So I need to go and get a rocket silo so that I can try and work out. Can I work it out from here? Where is it? It's not on there, is it? Science? No. No, it's not called telemetry. What is it called? Satellite telemetry. Oh, of course it's not in my list because I can't make it. Let's get a recipe book up then. I might install FNEA. Satellite telemetry. So, ingredient in rocket science pack. So to make a rocket science... oh, you get 8 out though. So 1 satellite telemetry gives you 8 rocket science packs. Okay. So 4. So that's them. And we probably want 1 of each again. So it's only 33 a minute. So we need 3 times that. Wow. Oh, it didn't actually put the speed module in. Oh no, speed module ingredient. Let me copy that. No. Okay, let's try that again. So 4 of them is 20. So that then is 40, 60, 80, 100 maybe. Oh, I've run out. So it's 102.96, which is a match for them. Cool. So then what do we need? To make one of those, we need electric furnaces, speed modules, and satellite telemetry. So electric furnaces, let's just whack in there. I don't know how many of these we're going to need. It's quite an ingredients list. Can't do prods in them, can I now? Let's see what they are with speeds. What did it need? It needed 12.375. That's probably overkill, isn't it? Yeah. Because they're quite... some of the speed, like production speeds, in fact 1 is enough. Yeah, cool. Cool. Some of the production speeds on some of the things are clearly just, you know, representative of game balance rather than anything else, because they don't sort of make sense a lot of the time. Is it level 1s? Yes. Yeah, and how many? Oh, same. Okay. And those take 15 seconds, so we might need... Didn't we do prods in them? No. Might need a few of them. So 12.375, we need so 4 maybe? So that's 60, would 3 be okay? 12.6. 3 should be okay. Oops. Yeah, so slight surplus. Now, telemetry, as I say, we can't work out without a silo, I don't think. Okay. Solid fuel might be interesting then. Maybe I shouldn't... Oops. Shouldn't be converting all of this into rocket fuel then. Interesting how it's slowed down. Why is that? Maybe there's just sufficient backup that... Oh, that's flickering in and out of... Because now I've doubled that. Yeah, and it's got rid of the backlog. That's cool, it's fine. Well, it's absolutely thumping them out. But yeah, I think maybe what I actually need to do then is have a train picking up solid fuel there as well. And maybe we literally just split it and it'll kind of self-balance itself. Oops. Right, have you got... So this is, I think this might be why I'm enjoying this so much so far, because it involves solving the sort of problems I enjoy solving in Factorio. I liked Crash Factorio 2 a lot because it was like kind of the base game with tweaks and like special things in it, and it didn't get too insanely complicated. It's mainly about producing stuff. Angels and Bobs, I don't know, I quite liked the idea of Angels and how it had done its stuff. Have I got another silo? I wonder if I got 2 of them. Oh, I have. But I think both of them, my biggest sort of issue with them was the whole... I'm not a massive fan of multiple recipes approach to like expanding the game. A few's fine, like that sort of thing. But I didn't really kind of enjoy the whole, right, well now you can make steel, you know, in 4 different ways and working out which is best, or, you know, for your setup sort of thing is like staggeringly complicated and difficult to do. Is it worth me taking anything else? I am going to take more modules. But yeah, so I sort of enjoyed the concept of Angels, but the actual practicality of, right, well now you've got to completely rebuild your base because you've unlocked a slightly different way of processing steel. Or making steel was a bit sort of annoying. Whereas this is more, okay, you know, you now need to make some more intermediate products, and send them into into space, basically. Solve that problem. And I think that's probably a bit more interesting, more the sort of problem I like. But you never know, I've not got to the horrible grindy sort of things. Also, there's a lot of designing in it, which has always been my favourite part of the game. Right, are we ready? Is that enough blathering that I can just crack on? So I'm guessing something like, Bianodons or something like that would be my worst nightmare, where you're, managing byproduct after byproduct after, byproduct. I don't know if C block is particularly like that. I do think I might add hovercraft to this. It's great fun, the hovercraft mod. It's also makes it super easy to travel. Right, so where did we get to? We got to. I'm going to have to put some substations on because that flashing is driving me nuts. So steel furnaces. I think it's just 1-to-1, isn't it? But heat shields, I don't think I've got production for like a separate building area, so that would be a question. I do have sulfur and stone, so maybe we build that locally. But what's the balance there? What do we? It takes prods. That's interesting. What do we need to match that up? So we would need potentially 3 more machines. 1 more, so maybe that's like that. Machines minus 0.45. Okay, so do I maybe swap those out for prods? Quite. We would still need at least 1 speed, possibly 2. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so these ones then. Green circuits, as I say, solid fuel would be a question. The other option is I could just bring in oil and just turn it all, yet another source, point for oil, which is one of our blocking resources actually. One of our tricky ones to get rid of. But also to reduce how many untapped, because there's several there. In fact, there's quite a few there. I wonder if they will give some improvement to movement at all. The remote view makes it far less critical, and the quality armor will enable quite some movement speed with even more exoskeletons. Yeah, I would quite like a improvement to Spidertron in that regard, because late game for me is just sitting on board a Spidertron and having it walk you where you want to go. And it has a weirdly small grid when you really think about it, given it's this gigantic robot on legs. It has a weirdly small equipment grid. So I would quite like to either have a heavy Spidertron, or just a bigger grid, basically, because it would be nice to be able to put just 16 legs in, sort of thing, or whatever would work, and have it just zoom across, because the biggest advantage of it is it's above everything, so it doesn't, apart from lakes and stuff, it doesn't stop. Which it is a point actually. I don't know with elevated rails, is Spidertron going to be blocked by them, or is it just going to weirdly sort of float over the top, even though it's basically the same height? What am I looking for? I'm looking to see, even though I think I got rid of, let's just pop these down. I think I got rid of the chemical labs, didn't I? I did, okay. I was just going to see how many solid fuels I would actually need, because I think I'm trending towards, I guess I could look also how many steel furnaces would it actually require. Assuming we can get a 1-to-1, and then they require stone furnaces in this, don't they? You know, we can just 1-to-1 it. Yeah, it's way too overproductive, so that's fine. And then we just need to sort of bring stone, brick and steel, and so we can make heat shielding here. Because we've got sulfur already. Solid fuel we will bring in, green circuits we're bringing in. So it's really now about the silos. How much do they actually produce? Can I get it to tell me? No, because it's rocket parts, isn't it? Is it still 100? Let's have a look in Recipe Maker, because this has not really answered my question. Okay. So that gives 100 telemetries. But it takes 2 minutes to launch a satellite. So if it gives 100, how much is this going to use? Only 12.375 per minute. So even if we had one rocket, we would have plenty of stuff, I think. If because you can do now 20 a minute, we need to do 5 times that. So, but we don't need it, I say, to run at rate, because that produces 100. So that would be 100 every 5 minutes. Would be 100 every 5 minutes would be 20 every minute. And this only needs 12.375. So if we can get one rocket running at that speed, so doing 20 a minute, we should be okay. But that would therefore require this many coming in of those. Okay, so it's even more heat shields. Right, so 18 a minute. How many do these actually make? 12 a minute. Okay. I think I might struggle with this because I don't think I've got enough sort of steel and stuff. I needed another extra 18, didn't I? And that was too much. Does that go? No. What do you produce now? 20 extra. I'm wondering if I can prod all of this. It reduces the amount of material demand, basically. So that will be 31. In fact, let's do the whole lot. So, but yeah, so that'll be okay. You also need rocket fuel at a rate of 54. Crikey. $223. So we've got loads basically. So there'll be enough for turning into liquid fuel as well. Excellent. Everything else is 18, isn't it? Yeah, so we then need low densities and RCUs, everybody's favourite. RCUs need glass, as I said, and batteries in this. So no blue circuits, that's interesting. Prod modules, give me what? That's only 4. That then takes it up to 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, so that's the number of those we would need, crikey. And what would you need? You would need I don't have batteries either, do I? And glass. How do I make glassy arse? So I guess production's things that I need to add. I mean, glass is really good because that's a great source of a great sink for the enormous amounts of stone we've got. So I've got blue circuits here. Maybe I add glassy arse there. Look for tags and not finding tag because I'm an idiot. So where would they be? They'd be in resources, are they? Yeah. Glass. Here. Boop. Okay. So we will leave that problem till later. What else do you need? You've got red circuits already. Batteries. Batteries. I mean, we have sulfuric acid here. Wow, is that nearly... There's used to a heck of a lot of that. But I was always planning to do batteries here. It's just I kind of got distracted. So this needs to be batteries. Oops. No. Resources. Where are they? Batteries. In fact, I'll put that little batteries. So I need to build something there. Okay. So I'm plate glass. Yeah, red circuits. Coal. Is that you sorted then? If we get all of those coming in? Yes. Excellent. So then, only thing we're missing is the low density structures, which I think also involve glass in this, don't they? So that would be... Yep. Rods work in you as well, they do. Aren't you, like, basically identical? $34. But then, do I want a low density structure in production area? What are they actually used in this? Marshmallow mangrove tree. Okay. Ingredient in astronomics facility. Because I think you can send them to space, is the thing. Oh, they're in the satellite as well. Okay, spaceship console, spaceship. Is there in loads of stuff? Oh, there's an alternate recipe as well. Yeah, I think we probably should have a low density structure building area. If we're making glass there, do I put it right next to it? Because then I can bring them in to this bus as well. Because I need a replacement for this, basically. This abomination. Can't I send... Can I not... Oops. Skip not by... Oh, maybe I can't then. Space capsule... can't... Oh. Weapon delivery capsule. Ah, they're an ingredient, is it? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, why? How am I able to build them then? Well, that's obviously an alternate recipe, is it? How am I able to build them if I've not got any holmium? Maybe it's just a better recipe. But yeah, there you go. Low density structures, you see. And heat shields and all sorts of stuff. So I think we need a low density structure production area as a proper thing. Do I put it right next to the glass? Because then I could just hive some of the glass off, just make that even bigger. But I don't know how big that's going to be. Yeah, let's put it there. As a guesstimate. Densities. So yeah, that's my guess. So, is that everything? You require heat shields, rocket fuel. Yes. Criminy. Criminy bliminy. Okay. Mothership Tron confirmed. Yeah. That would be awesome, actually. Having a big spider. I don't know if that's what you meant, but a big spider that can launch little spiders, basically. So having a great big Spidertron that can just take 20 Spidertrons with it, sort of thing. That would be awesome. This is all nearly built, isn't it? Okay, how much is it kicking out? Nearly 2 gigawatts. So we need a couple extra. I think I got 2 gig then. Where do I put them? Should probably add maybe a couple on there. Or maybe better down here, actually. I'm going to leave it anyway. I'll do that later, basically. Okay, so we have a lot to build. And plenty of space to build it, so that's fine. We do also have coal. But no coal liquefaction. Oh, satellite. Let's work out the satellite then. So, because that needs some slightly different stuff. Is it science? No. Is it logistics? Yes. Why would it be in logistics? So radars we can make. Solid fuel we're coming in. So getting basically everything coming in apart from the whole solar panels and accumulators. And the question there really is, do I actually set up? Because what I tried to research and ran out of stuff for was this flat solar panel. Because I think maybe I want to really be making solar panels and kind of... I think I'm going to have one cargo rocket that's just this like random collection of bits and pieces that I want to use in space. But are probably best made on at home on Nauvis. And flat and solar panels feels like one of them. Can they be built? This is the bit I don't know. Can they be built on planet surfaces? Will it tell me in the recipe book? Flat solar panel. Oh, there's a second one as well. Anyway. Product of one, unlocked by. Doesn't tell me, you see, does it? However, that you can walk on and research, view details, middle click, technology window. Doesn't it usually say? So if this thermodynamics cannot place on land, so it doesn't say that. Space output. Okay. So hypercooling cannot be placed on land. Cannot be placed on land. Doesn't say that. So the implication is I can use them on planets. So I'm thinking we need to set up a solar panel and accumulator production area and just train them in. Because batteries, we're going to set up a new one, and we've already got all of those. Well, I need to build glasses, obviously. I can just have maybe a 111 train rather than a 141, because that's an insane amount to send. But then if I'm going to send them into space and other planets, we could send them from here anyway. Yes, so I think those become a build down here somewhere. It would also then put them in fairly nice range of, my production hub. So I could just keep building, and the bots wouldn't be too far away. I wouldn't have to travel insane distances. Okay, so if we also then add, definitely a combined one, but let's just put it on as a combined one. So be that. And oh, there's a flat solar panel 3 as well. Oh, I'm not sure if it's going to go down this route of... I suppose it's only a few, isn't it? And it's modules and stuff. And it is power, so that's not unreasonable. But that was the other thing I was massively keen on in a lot of these overhaul mods, is that they have just, it's assembly level 4 and assembly level 5 and assembly level 6. And it's just tedious building them all. Okay, so we assume those come in by a train then. And then everything else, we're already getting radars we can make, as they are basically just iron plate, essentially, aren't they? Oh, no, it's slightly different in this, but that's fine. Cool. Okay. So, this is our ingredients list. Why are you not connected? Cool. We'll keep this here as reference. Excellent. So. Okay. We need this many. Are these? Where do we want to put them? So if it was somewhere there, that would be fairly reasonable, I think. Because what I also want to do, I've added on the, whatchamacallit, the panels and stuff. I want to actually, because it's not something I tend to do, but, you know, where you can do like the text plates, and actually want to, you know, concrete them and make them look, if not pretty, then, you know, like actual factories. Because I kind of figure if I'm going to be doing this for hundreds and hundreds of hours, let's do it sort of properly. Right. I think maybe... Yeah, let's try and keep it parallel as well. So they'd be ideally there somewhere. So... move that up a bit. Did I end up... Let's do... In fact, let's do it as a... So a round distance from that. Okay. Yeah. Now, how much would all of these need coming in? Where are we? Transport belts. So, not even a belt, anywhere close to a belt. So we can have them all in a lovely row. Okay. Okay. Is it? Oh, I've used. Okay. You need 3 things, don't you? One of which is the satellite telemetry. So we probably need to make those 2 close. And... oh, actually, I've actually done it the other way round on military. Okay, so if we assume we'll put both of our inputs on the outside. Like so. We can have a bit of an arrangement like that. Have I used... yeah, I've done it as alternates, haven't I? Cool. Okay. And then we just need to think about what's coming in where. And we needed them. If we imagined, I suppose the the sort of problem with that is not. There's no chance to bake in it, basically. Although it does have this long range things, doesn't it? No, I think I'm going to go with my. Actually, change my mind. Pop that up there. Get rid of that one. Don't need swapping for. No, let's do it that way. Oops. Oh, hello, Mona. I'm afraid I don't speak whatever language that is. But hello, Nona? 83. Welcome to the chat. If you could speak in English, that would be great. Not actually sure that's technically a rule on the channel. Probably should be. Well, just so I know what you're saying. Could have said anything then. Right. Okay. Yes, so if we imagine bacon there, and then we want some roof belts, and I've completely run out of assemblers. Of course I have. Let's go back to base. Where are they? Put them there like that. Oh, missing signal. Oh. Right. Should start using rocket fuel if there's going to be that much of it. Where are you attacking? You're attacking there, are you? Another infestation. I said it before, say it again. This is something I would like to see them change. Talking about combat and stuff like that. The colonisation groups are always just wimpy. And they just don't produce anything like the level of challenge that you get from the ones that spawn. They should make colonisation be a, you know, a big scale thing, because that, where it just plops one down in your thing and it just sends out, you know, 4 biters, because that's how big the base set of bases is. It's just, you know, trivial basically. And I get the idea of it being a resource drain rather than any kind of challenge, but it's just such a trivial resource drain as well. Is that another attack, or is that just a response to me bumping? Oh, race the train. Okay. Did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, we don't really need that rocket silo then. Wait, was it bringing me another one? It was. Is there? There must be a machine making them. Unless it's referring to the one I... Yeah, it must be referring to the one I already had. Okay. Gonna need a few of them, and a lot of them as well. Have we received all of the stuff? Yes, we have. Cool. Didn't really talk about what I did last week, so I wasn't streaming last week because went to visit my dad basically. He lives close to my sister now. He's actually going to be 80 this year. He's in remarkably good condition basically for being that old. Still kind of chugging on. But he's a lot sort of slower, and he takes a lot of naps nowadays. It was good to see him. It was like a really, really relaxing weekend because my sister, as I say, no, I didn't say. My sister was, so he lives near her, and she's got well, my nephew basically is only, I don't know how old he is. He's started school not long ago, so he must be 6 or something now, 5 or 6. But therefore he's sort of, quite high energy a lot of the time. It kind of wears me out basically. So it's quite nice to see my dad without you know, kind of having to entertain my nephew as well, sort of thing. Do they want to be that way around? I'm not sure, but let's just pop one on for now. These are gonna be the speed modules, so that's just green circuits and side fuel. But these don't need any of that, do they? So it doesn't feel like you could combine belts with them. That's annoying. Now, what's that? So everything is speed. Okay. How much stuff do you actually need? You need quarter belt of green and 1/8 of a belt of solid fuel. Okay. So a single belt feed will keep you happy. In that case, 1, 2. So if that would be... So it's a different set of ingredients, but... Because this is quite a complex, different set. But I'm never going to speed module these. Because one machine makes more than we need, so... It doesn't matter. That does use steel, stone brick, heat shielding, isn't it? Yeah. And regular stone. Okay. So let's imagine that we bring in the 2 ingredients there. We can give ourselves a little bit of room. But basically... This goes like that. But he was asking me about, so he wants to kind of upgrade his computer. It's quite old, but he's asked me to sort of build him one. I was trying to work out the real reason for it, well, it's a double whammy. He needs to upgrade because he's on an older operating system, basically. It's part of it. Not that old. It's 10, I think. I can't remember. No, it must be because 7's not being supported, is it? But basically, at the end of next year, you know, Microsoft stops support for 10. But obviously that's ages off, so it's not really an issue. So that needs to be 2 trains, basically, coming in to support that. So we can sort that out later. But yeah, so, you know, that's one part of the underlying reason, but the other one is that the machine I built for him before is a proper tower, you know, a proper standing tower, big, heavy thing. And as I say, he's getting a bit frailer, so he's not really that much of a fan of lugging this thing about, because he lives in what's called a park home, which is it's basically like a mobile, you know, it's like a trailer park basically type home, but more permanent than, you know, holiday, those sort of, you know, those types of trailers. Because I'm thinking, yeah, it's just literally we go, and then I can feed in what we need on the side. Because we do have one with this, don't we? That it's, they both need steel. So maybe, what else do you need? You need those and stone brick. I need stone, steel, heat shield, circuit. You don't need. It's an annoying ingredients list, that. So, in fact, if that's steel, would that work? How quickly are you going to pump things out? Oh, nowhere near a transport level. Transport level. In fact, is that's really enough, is it? Yeah. Okay. So, I'm thinking maybe is that because it's dual input on that one, we do that. Steel can come in on that one. Possibly something else as well. Because heat shields we have to make here, don't we? Heat shield. So we've got red circuits, stone break, and then you're stone, aren't you? Oh, so annoying. I mean, we could do something janktabulous. And that we could have. So that could then be stone. Flashing's driving me nuts. I'm just going to temporarily connect it. Oop. Oh, missed. Okay. So, I'm going to use whatchamacallit, constant combinators. So this needs to be the orange jobbies. That's the technical term. Them. So that's where we need to bring the rockets in, basically. This needs green circuits and solid fuel, which we were going to make locally, weren't we? So this would be green circuits. And then we also need the whole that via that thing to happen. And then this one, that because that gives that. So if we put on a train, we have one that's stone. Now I do have stone brick here. Yeah, let's just bring it in as a separate train. Because obviously if I'm bringing stone in, we could just make stone brick here. Right. There you go, stone brick. So stone brick on that one, as well as steel. So that needs to be a combined steel as well. Cool. It's just stone on that one. This filters it just down to the thing I just said. Stone brick. That's your output. Okay, so you then lack red circuits and heat shields. You've got everything. You've got everything. So then we can, I don't know why I switched to fast ones. It's 5 and 5, so actually maybe that should be. I don't think this needs to be, does it? How many do you have? 16 rig maybe? Oh, 6 steel, yeah, definitely. And then 5 stone, yeah, let's go with plus. But yes, this needs to be a red circuit one. There. But then we also need to make something else. Things and stuff. Heat shields. So the heat shields need to be made. And aren't they made out of stone tablets and sulfur? So to do that one, that's where we need the stone tablets and sulfur. That build has been sat there for donkey's years. But this is like, you know, we need to make it into a thing, and that's we need to make it. So the station is the oil, the station is the stone tablets and that, and then we turn it into heat shields. But we also need heat shields for the other thing. Okay. Right then. So we just need a million billion other things. Simple. So I've got all of that bit. So I guess we could maybe have the heat shields be next, but I don't think that makes sense, does it? Should I make the rockets? Oh, it's 5:30, crikey. Thankfully, I've not been thinking about sushi pipe. Okay, they're quite complicated, aren't they? They are quite complicated. I was going to make them in a separate place, wasn't I? Yeah. We're not actually making those here. Didn't I? Oh, we got 3 product in. No. Prerequisite. Ingredient in interstellar void probe. Well, there you go. Space capsules. So they are used in cargo rocket sections. That's annoying. Asteroid belt, star probe belt. Okay. So they're using cargo rocket sections as well. Huh. As well as heat shielding. Starting to feel like we should maybe off-site all of these, and we just bring them in by a train. If I'm gonna have to make cargo rocket sections out of them as well, feels like that should be a separate build. And then I can just drop off cargo rocket sections here somewhere, along with the rocket fuel and what have you, in order to make this. Because I don't actually know whether I'm going to have all my cargo rockets here. It's a bit cramped. I don't think I am. So we need some cargo rocket section production things as well. Okay. What do RCUs take then? batteries, advanced circuits, glass, and iron plate. Okay. Advanced circuits rather than blue circuits. That's interesting. But they're not using too many other. I'm using a few. I'm just wondering if I'd sort of tack something in here, and then if I need a tiny amount for some production, you know, of like Spidertrons or what have you, or rockets or however it works in this, I could just, you know, robot it across. Yeah, let's do that. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, what's that? A dynamic emitter. Presumably that emits dynamically. Right. Where the heck are they? Resources, maybe? No. Okay. Well, they were in manufacturing. Okay. Manufacturing. There. I'll see you. They're now completely redundant rocket control units. Okay. In that case, we're now basically just training everything in, aren't we? So I'm now not making them here. And if heat shields are used in a load of other stuff, then I should make them as well. How about, since we've got all of this stuff here, and sulphur's not too far away, we could maybe make heat shields here? I didn't realise when I started this I was going to end up doing quite so much of it via train, but they seem to be used in sufficient things that it makes sense to build separate factories. I'm not sure that will be there, but you know, maybe it's my first proper extension into this business. Okay, so let's set this up then. So this is all we're now making in this area. But that means we need to bring in everything else. Okay, so I got rid of the other silo, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, so let us... I could pick all of this up, couldn't I? Because I've kind of got it all covered, really. Issue is going to be the trains, I think. Fitting everything in. Okay. Let's assume it's gonna be on this side somewhere. Let's also assume that there does end up being some bacon there. Is this where I'm going to put the silo? Because it makes sense. So that needs to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so that would overlap. So if the... I know we do beacons differently in this, but for the sake of... Oops. argument. Let's just assume. Oops. 1, 2. There you go. But we end up with a classic. Oops. Those are the beacons. I guess I'll just do my typical thing of fate. Let's do this fast. So that will be set up to do the business. We would then need to feed in 4 ingredients for this. Okay. Plus the actual statellite itself, which we don't have requesters for, so I'm going to have to stick in my belt as well. And wasn't this... Oh, I put modules in, I think, didn't I? Okay. So... items per second. That was a minute rather. Well, transport belt terms. Not even a transport belt, but of course we know it will end up being super speedy. But it is 4 ingredients, so let's assume something like that. Right. Let's not be a total pleb. And then that we'd need to wire that over to there. Should be able to do that with what we got there. But so this is the statellite, which is where there it is. All sorts of interesting things that need to go in there. Okay. Okay. Right. What did you need? You needed low density, RCUs, solid fuel, and heat shielding. Now, didn't these need heat shielding? They did. So if we say heat shielding, which we're changing now, aren't we? So this is an actual belt coming in via train now. Yeah, okay. Because what we can probably do is have that be a split. So actually it's then some sort of train connecting there. Okay. Cool. So that gets two thingies in parallel there. We then just need rocket fuel. Oops. Simple matter of simply building a simple metric butt ton of everything. Okay. Right, so what was it? Rocket fuel. Low density structures. And RCUs. Which will be somewhere. First train here, we will just copy. I think. But all I'm doing... Because I don't need as much room, basically, now. Well, I thought I was going to have gigantic rooms for doing heat shields and all that sort of stuff. Instead, it's gigantic room for trains. Which is not so much of a problem, really. But yes, so, if that train is sort of there-ish, we can sort out the belts. Then the connection... let's turn them off. Somewhere in there. That one. Cool. Nope. See, I've been putting these in as T-junctions, and I don't know why. I guess maybe in the far distant future I might be building stuff up there as well, but I don't know. Should really be this type of junction, you see. Oops. Okay, and then get rid of that. And put... Oops. Put a couple of straights in. I'm sure this will come back to bite me in the bum in the future. Let's move them back up. Since it turns out I don't need so much space. Boop. And then... Am I just putting them every... Power pole? I am. No, I'm not. Half. Okay. So how many things do we need coming in? That's the question. And can I... cut the line to stop any trains coming in, because that would not be fun. Okay. Have I got any station? I have. So this, I guess, would be green circuits, maybe. And that's for orange science. I'm going to copy that. Oh, so I got the structure. Yeah, we're going to have to build the solid fuel thing. I think maybe we'll do that at the top. So then this needs to be... maybe this is steel. Oops. Steel. And then this is stone brick. And then this is stone. Okay, stone. What else do we need? We need radars for one thing. But oh yeah, we have to put them in. Can't see what's going on. Did I put them every other one? I did. Oh no. Second one and then like fourth one. So up here. Align with the top? No, align with the bottom, of course. Right. Right. So we have green circuits on one side of the belt. Then we have belt here. Oh, that's connected. That's a bit random. But yes, this needs to be the stone brick. And steel. And then this must be stone. Yep. Because none of these are massive volumes coming in, so we don't need to do anything different than this one thing here. But then we need. Do I want to put that there? Probably not. I probably actually want that. Oh no, it didn't really quite line up, does it? That's annoying. That. Move that back. And then this. No. Well, this. That should be our solid fuel. Which means that must be stone. So wherever the stone solid fuel ends up being, that. Oh, I've run out of belt. Got to load in the tank. So that must be the red circuits. Cool. Put that there. What else do we need? I've unfortunately gotten rid of the bits and pieces. These needed heat shields as well, didn't they? Now was I must have been, so actually that should be a double-sided belt, as it were. So this should actually be like that. And then this should be heat shields. No. It is going to be easy for this to be the other way around. I think because we are mixing this belt. So. Oops. That needs to go. Like that. So then this is heat shields. I think. But this one does want a double output. So this is then this one. So that oops, that then becomes the solid fuel, probably. Don't know, maybe something else. But if that's heat shields, yeah. So I've done that comboing thing already, so I don't need that. Instead, I'm just going to move them over. Those are the three things we need. Doesn't matter about the order though. Apart from this needs probably some stuff as well. What do you need? You don't need heat shields, but you do need rocket fuel. Well, you need red circuits as well. And low density structures. That's all very inconvenient of you. Okay. Did you need... You don't need these guys, so... Do you need heat shields? No, you do need red circuits though. Now. Red circuits are therefore here, aren't they? See, it's not spaghetti if it's entirely intended. That's my rule. So that'll be red circuits coming in then. Need glass as well. What an absolute pain in the bum. And radar, which is then going to need iron plate. So we also need for this. In fact, let's do it where these, which I've run out of. Don't know why, because I've been picking them up. But there you go. Combinators, there we go. So, annoyingly, doesn't radar also need stone brick in this? Yeah. Oh, and green circuits. And small electric motors, but they're all iron, aren't they? No, they need copper cable. So we do need copper here. I'm wondering if maybe I hive them off from here. We just steal a bit of copper and stuff. Because this also has stone brick and steel and red circuits. So I'm wondering if maybe we do something on the other side there. But, you know, we got stone brick, we got green circuits, we got, you know, iron plate all over here, I believe. Well, green circuits are on my way. Oh, no. Oh, no, because they're not in red and... They're not in red and green in this. But I got stone, so I could... But copper's probably the thing to steal, I think. But yeah, we could steal these green circuits, which I think we could filter off of there. And bring around for that. Stone brick is also part of one of these, as well as steel. Huh. Oh, you don't need steel, okay. We'll come back to that one. I think a lot of it we can steal from other places, basically. Anyway, the point is that I've completely lost track. So... heat shield, wasn't it? Excuse me. Heat shield. Coming into there. Excellent. We would then need RCUs. Crikey. Why have I got random extra? Don't think I've aligned these properly. Oh well. Didn't matter. It'll work in the end. So, we would need RCUs. Yeah, it's because it's not quite even, is it? Dang. Okay. No, they're... Some of them are shorter distance than others. Is that what's on all of them? Oh, it is, look. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, wow. That's very annoying. Ah, okay. Fine. The trains is all a different distance apart. Not sure I can tolerate that. Might have to come and fix that at some point. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So up here for another radar. Now, what are you bringing in? Your heat shields. Okay. So we then need... low density structures. Why has it got the military thing on it? Bet that's an error somewhere as well. We must be getting close to the end of the strain because I'm starting to make these... well, that was obviously an error from before, but... that's all orange. Orange. Okay. Oh, it's because the original copy was for military, wasn't it? Right. So you're low density for that. And now you need to be... it doesn't really matter, does it? RCUs for orange. Oops. And then this would be... rocket fuel, rocket fuel. There we go. Okay, so that gets those. There's then the whole satellite question, but we will sort that out much, much later. I think. But we certainly know we need... one more, maybe. Oh, crikey, it's 6:10. Okay. No wonder I'm starving. Yes, so that's where we got to today. We have the plan for Orange Science. It's not going to happen anytime soon, is it? I knew it was going to be complicated, but I kind of left it for the actual stream because I sort of assumed I could get it done in the 2 days, but I'll have to see. Trouble is, I'm trying to write the script for this video. I keep talking about the science one, but we'll have to see where I can, if I can do some talks. Obviously, I have played this loads. I'm really enjoying it. I focus mostly on the, military and fighter extermination, basically. Okay, let's go stand by me tank. Yeah, gonna have to build a few builds, I think. Cool. Let us put my schedule up. So basically, same again tomorrow. I will be back at 3 o'clock. British summertime as we now are. I think all of Europe has moved to... what number stream is this? Sorry, I'm trying to do... so it'll be that now. And then video producer. So that'd be 9, this would be 10. Okay. Lost track of it because I wasn't obviously here last week. Cool. Anyway, yes. So schedule, as I say, is identical to tomorrow. To today for tomorrow. Be playing some SpaceX again, and yeah. I say trying to get space rockets done for the end of tomorrow. I say that doesn't seem likely because I've decided I'm doing a whole bunch of extra builds, which will be massively useful for future production. But I certainly won't, I think, get all of those done unless I can find some time to do them between now and tomorrow, which probably won't do. Next week and the week after, I think. Let's check the calendar. Yes, so next 2 weeks will be identical. So we'll be doing more SpaceX on Saturday and Sunday. You know, the 3-hour, 3 p.m. stream. And hopefully by that point we will be properly working in space. I'm sort of aware that I've done SpaceX and basically just worked on Alvis. It's because it's I've been trying to do prep and make sure it's all working and functional, because I'm sort of aware that we might need to just load loads of stuff into rockets so that when we do actual foreign, other planets, they'll work and I can just load things in, or have rockets ready to go and just order things up, basically. It's what I'm thinking. And I am trying to think of it in space age terms, in terms of how I think that might all work as like a simulation for that. So yes, hopefully by that point, by a couple of weeks' time, we'll be actually properly working in space, and I'll actually expand that space platform and build stuff there and do the proper science, and we'll get on to Vulcanite and Cryonite. No promises on that though. But yes, next 2 weeks should be normal streams. After that though, I am on leave, like properly leave, and I'm going to a game convention, so there'll be very much disrupted streams. And I may well not stream at all because I've got a massive long list of stuff that I need to do that I couldn't do because of this horrible work situation. So I say there could be a couple of weeks of break or just more random streams basically. But then after that, it should go all the way up till like probably October or something like that, when I'll take another proper holiday. Yes, so as I say, we should get some really good progress on SpaceX the next few weeks, and then after that, because that's the plan. I really am enjoying this, so I've not got any intention of streaming anything else. However, the other thing I usually promote, which I will keep doing, is the Friday Facts read-through videos. They go live on my YouTube channel if I remember to do it. I messed up this week, but they should go up every Friday at some point, and available if you are interested in those to watch over the weekend. They're a huge amount of fun to do, and people seem to like them. So I'm always grateful. I always try and say in these that, if you've got any comments or thoughts or what have you, I like them to be, they're very speculative. They're very, these are the ideas, and it's nice to have other people's thoughts and things to bounce off of and have other ideas. So yeah, if you are interested in any of those and you like my drivel, then there's usually about an hour's worth every Friday to catch up on. So there is also an archive. There's a link to my YouTube channel there, the address there. But it's basically just Trismegistus or Trigors. Search for one of those. And there's a whole collection of the most recent series of Friday Facts from when they started doing them again after the Space Age announcement. So loads to watch there. That YouTube channel also does have all of the archived VODs for this series and every other series I've done. So loads of Factorios, No Spoon, Mega Base, Aesthetic Factorio, Blueprint series, loads and loads of stuff there, as well as playthroughs of games like Tectonica, Dyson Sphere Program, Sally's Factory, all the sort of building and management type games. So yes, so that's me. All it remains for me to do is to say, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.